Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Token Games Podcast. I'm your host and sometimes referee, Zach Pearson, and today I'm joined by the only Street Fighter to ever catch them all, Pikamitsu.
I'm here, and I played upwards of 70 games of skee-ball today. I'm blown out.
No one will ever top your introductions. I just want you to know that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also joined by our newcomer, Andrew Dat Smith.
Hey, what's going on? I pretty much wasted my day by playing GTA.
You and probably hundreds of millions of others. There's perfectly good porn out there, but no GTA. Alright, tonight's topics are our annual It's Marvel discussion, and it's been a pretty fruitful month, given the fact that, well, we've gotten more and more clarifications and information in regards to Marvel vs. Capcom 4 or Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, but I'm going to say 4 because it's the fourth goddamn game, and I'm me, First Amendment, and also that Spider-Man trailer, goddamn, and also that other Spider-Man trailer, hot damn, and the future / potential of mutants being in Marvel vs. Capcom 4. Second topic, which almost escaped me for a hot second. Our second topic is the world of timed exclusives. Good for the industry, bad for the industry, good for the player, bad for the player. You decide. But not really. We're going to talk about it and we're going to decide for ourselves. And you're going to listen. And of course, an old classic Nintendo NX speculation. Yes, I know it's called the Switch, but fucking NX just sounds cooler. Alright. First order of business. It's Marvel issues in regards to number 4. As with our last podcast, or really anything on the internet, I'm pretty sure everybody and their mom has noticed two of the major features that, well, Marvel series is known for have been removed, quote unquote, which are 3 versus 3 and the ability to have an assist. Now, since we last talked about this, we've got some further clarification on it, and for me, it kind of sort of seems like it's really just the whole Final Fantasy episode 1, 2, 3 issue of a company continuously misspeaking and not giving proper information out because they themselves don't realize that they're misspeaking. Alright, so Capcom didn't actually get rid of the assist functionality, but they keep saying that they did, which is kind of weird. Basically, what they've actually done is take the assist functionality and make it freeform a la Dead or Alive style, meaning that your characters can come out at any point in time during a combo, whenever, wherever, air, ground, sea, land, in the air, everywhere, blah, 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 blah. And for some reason, they've been telling people their justification for removing the assist every time I've seen them in media. More specifically, I believe his name is Michael Edwards, who is the current producer for this game. Yes, he's an American. Who's the current producer for this game saying it. But the thing is that you didn't take it out. You just changed how it worked. So I think that may be where the confusion comes from. Now, when it comes to the 3 versus 3, he also admitted that they could have gone as high as 5 versus 5, which I don't even want to think about. It makes my mind hurt. But they decided to settle on 2 versus 2, which, contrary to what a lot of people say, doesn't really, devolve Marvel or make it, terrible. Because first off, and back me up on this, Pikamitsu, that's how the shit started.
Yeah, the first Marvel vs. Capcom was 2v2 with randomly picked assists that you press a couple of buttons, they just fly out, do their thing, and disappear for a limited amount of times.
And then here's the fucked up part. You had to put in a goddamn passcode to manually select your assist, even though you didn't have that problem on the fucking arcade. I never understood that shit. And even before that, I think it was X-Men vs. Street Fighter, it was still 2-on-2. I think. So, to be honest, I can understand some of the gripes, but a lot of the shit is due to just Capcom misspeaking. How do you feel about that, Pikamitsu? You agree, disagree, or what?
I still say it's a little bit too early to be griping on anything about them. I like the fact that they brought it back to 2-on-2, keeps things more honest, and the fact that they've taken out like outside, quote unquote, outside interference, aka the assists. That keeps it even more honest. It's just that you want to elongate your combo, you can bring your other person in at any time. Just know that if you fuck it up, they're gonna eat shit.
I like
And they're going to eat shit hard.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm used to the freeform system just because, well, I've literally had DOA woven into my system before, it got extremely perverted beyond recognition, damn near. Fucking 1998, the first fighting game I ever played, or rather, I ever owned and was bought specifically for me, was Dead or Alive. And Power Stone, but Power Stone is in a unique position. So we're just going to say Dead or Alive because, first off, I had a fucking Dreamcast. And even though people kept saying that, it sucked because they weren't there, the Dreamcast was perfectly fine. The problem was the Japanese president said, fuck it, I don't care anymore. I don't want to make systems. After they finally got it right. But we could be on that topic all day. So for them to sit up here and do what they're doing, I kind of like. My question is, though, how come there isn't a team tag throw or something like that? That would be fucking cool. It ain't even got to be super powerful. You can make it eat up like half a meter and eat up an entire tag gauge. We don't know how the tag system works. I'm assuming there'll be a tag gauge. Just to do some cool team combo. Like, imagine what fucking Iron Man and Ryu would do. He would just do Unibeam, and then you just see fucking, like, Ryu come behind him in an awkward pose, and then just do the Hadouken pose around his little triangle chest. That would be fucking hilarious and cool. But,
I think they are going to run with the, like a gauge that has to fill up, like maybe every second to a second and a half, maybe even elongate it to like 3 to 4 seconds before you can switch your person out. I think that would be the smartest way to go with it if it's 2v2. Other than that, I think they're taking things nicely so far. I'm waiting to see what the final count of characters is in for the game. I don't really care if it's like brand new characters that haven't been in the Marvel series yet versus people that they're bringing back. I would like to see like a limited roster like the first one. They had like 369, not counting all the hidden characters and shit. That's like the 21 or so, I think.
No, I think it was smaller. I think they had like 12.
No, the first Marvel vs. Capcom, it was 3 wide, and I think it went either 6 or 7 deep.
No, because you also got to remember that a lot of those characters had other characters hidden behind them. Or characters.
Yeah, that's what I'm not counting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think it was smaller than that. I think it was under 20. Fuck. Hey, Andrew, since you don't know shit about Marvel, hey, go Google the MVC1 roster. How many characters?
Give me 1 second.
Oh, and that also brings us into our next topic, or part of that topic. The mutants. Those goddamn inhuman mutants. Okay. So, due to new licensing agreements, deals, and, Ike Perlmutter, the fuckboy that he is, basically getting ousted from high levels of power via the forces of Disney for being, well, besides a fuckboy, a racist and homophobic fuckboy, and also pissing off Kevin Feige consistently, new deals are able to be made and are being made. One of which involves the mutants. What I'm more concerned about is, we don't know because they're not telling us. Are we now going to finally be able to have the mutants come back, bringing Sexy back into Marvel vs. Capcom 4? Or do you think that we're going to get the Shaft and they're all going to be DLC? And not just new mutants, like the ones we fucking always known and cared about and grew up on. I swear to God, if I have to pay money for Rogue and Gambit. What you think, Pikamitsu?
I just really think that Marvel vs. Capcom ain't Marvel without mutants.
Thank you.
So whatever freaking like deals that they have to pull out of their ass, or whoever has to be a bit humble in order for this to happen, so the fans can enjoy it. Make it happen. That's all I have to do. Just make it happen. Suck it up. Make it happen.
Now, Andrew, did you find out the number on that roster?
Yeah, it was 15 that are playable, 20 that aren't playable.
Thought so. Not trying to brag, but I felt like it was a little bit short. Okay. All right. Now, since I've said his name quite a few times, and again, Andrew ain't got shit to do, feel free to look up or pass a link to Ike Perlmutter or Google Ike Perlmutter scandal, and you're going to see a whole list on that dude's fucking rap sheet. He's the reason why Don Cheadle wasn't in Iron Man 2 and 3, just for blatant racism.
Give me a sec.
Don't even have a joke behind it. That's why he didn't come back. Ike Perlmutter opened his mouth. Anyways, as far as my feelings, I'm scared. I hate to say it because I know how people get when I never have a direct, down the middle opinion on something, and I give them, ironically, something down the middle. But I think it might be both. I think, unfortunately, even though Street Fighter V hasn't been profitable, or let me phrase it, it hasn't been profitable in the way that they hoped without the need for DLC, that we're going to be in a situation where we might get 4 or 5 mutants, and then the ones that they think we really want become DLC characters, or we get Avenger characters that have been morphed and palette swapped with our X-Men babies like a motherfucker. Like, if they can't get X-23 and Wolverine back, who's to say they won't try to put them both together and make it Black Panther? He got claws, and he's acrobatic. Now, that being said, most of the team working on this game are, in fact, Marvelites. Like, people that have been programming and coding the series since the X-Men vs. Street Fighter days. More specifically, if memory serves, Michael says that they have 7 people. And also, Michael Edwards grew up playing X-Men vs. Street Fighter in the Versus series of fighting games. So, it's in capable hands. Not saying, and not to, shit on the people that made 3 and 2, but realistically, this may be a game that's actually completed, which was the biggest problem with 2 and 3. They were never actually completed games. They were released to the public in the state that they were, and then after that, they just said we can't. Also, we found out why that was, and Pikamitsu, you might like this, or you might want to break your fucking laptop, but the reason why we couldn't always get patches and shit to the Marvel games and almost any other fighting game in general that took forever or just never fully finished or got realized is because Capcom has been commissioning and paying other companies to make over 80% of their fighting library going back as early as the late 90s. Yeah.
Oh, look, it's outsourcing, just like a lot of shit in the world today.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Those patches cost them extra money. The companies wouldn't do them out of the goodwill of their heart and conscience. So that's why fucking MVC3 was in the state that it was. Because of a company called Aiding and Dimps, sorry.
Yeah, the netcode is still in a state of shit if you haven't played the PS4 version, which I believe you have.
Yeah, personally, and that's going to lead us into our next topic at one point, I thought the PC version was coming out at the same time, because I wanted to see their mods, bro. You know what the mod community is going to do when they finally get their hands on a non-2D fucking MVC engine? I'm sure you know what Mugen is. For those of you out there who don't know what Mugen is, besides being a Japanese word for infinity, Mugen was an engine that was made by a company that went belly up before their fighting game even came out. They went belly up so fast, no one even knows what that fighting game was going to be called. And someone got the source code for it and realized, holy shit, you can implement quite literally every single sprite-based fighting game character into this engine and make them function how they originally did or modify them, however you see fit. Now, we all know what's going to happen when MVC gets on Steam, besides the fact that the hacker community is going to patch and fix every little goddamn thing Capcom wants, which seems to happen a lot with a lot of these Japanese games that end up on Steam, except for Square Enix. They do their shit. You know they're going to fucking make their own original custom characters, or they're going to put in characters that don't technically exist. I'm waiting on somebody to fucking take Dante or take Virgil or any other character with a trench coat and turn him into Gambit. Oh, I can't fucking wait.
Well, there goes the originality of the game.
That wasn't really that much to begin with. Or what if they turn Wesker into fucking Nightcrawler? The one character everyone said, oh, he can't be in the game. He'd be too cheap. Okay, well, look, here's Wesker. Oh, shit. Argument is now invalid, you son of a bitch. That reminds me. Now that I got you here, I wanted to show a fellow Marvelite my wish list for MVC4. Now, mind you, it's all Instagram links. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to drop it in the chat, and I'm going to let you take a look at it, Pika, just because I like hearing your opinion, or if you can see what my references are. And of course, we're gonna start with the joke. Just gonna no. Put this over here in the corner. Picture number 1. Picture number 2. Picture number 3. And lastly, picture number 4. And of course, it wouldn't be me if there wasn't a meme to follow some shit. Alright, Pika, tell me what you think about that.
Okay. Let's see here. From bottom to top. Bitch, you shouldn't be Japanese.
So true.
Next one, bitch, you look like a Boogie. A lot like a Boogie, just like armor.
It's a palette swap from Street Fighter V.
Mm.
But the character is a real character. She's from a very old game, which I'm pretty sure you remember, but you never knew the name of the character. The original Aliens vs. Predator for the Super Nintendo. That's the female character, Lieutenant Kurosawa. Also, they used her as the base model for an ironic palette swap of their own right. She actually is a combination of Chun-Li and Psylocke. In fact, she's the precursor to Psylocke.
Okay. Interesting. Alright, so, number 3, the top part, meh. The bottom part, yes, please.
Dude, use the characters have their names on them. Be more specific.
Oh, sorry. Firestar and Iceman, meh. Claire Redfield and Yuri, yes, please.
You kill me. You kill me. Well, I guess you didn't grow up on that show, so you wouldn't get the.
I did not. I'm sorry.
Okay, so it's
I mean,
weird.
I remember watching X-Men.
No, not that. Okay, so back in the 1970s, during the X-Men's regular TV show, there was another TV show with Spider-Man on the cartoons. And it was called Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. But what made it unusual was that the characters he was in college, and the characters he was roommates with were fucking mutants from X-Men, and like no one knew or understood why they somehow ended up going to college together. It's never explained. And those mutants it was Spider-Man, Iceman, and Firestar. And here's what's kind of funny: not Spider-Man. Iceman was voiced by the dude who plays Freddy from Scooby-Doo. So just imagine Freddy coming out of Scooby-Doo's mouth. I mean, Iceman's mouth.
That's right. But anyways, just real quick, the rest of the characters. That second picture,
Dude, they got their
Nightcrawler.
names on them.
I was getting to him. Nightcrawler, meh. Caldera, meh. Spider Gwen might be a palette swap for Spider Man. That's as far as I see that going. And the first picture, is that just a Nightcrawler again, or is that
That's a
what?
Nightcrawler meet, dude. If you click them, it'll show you a bigger picture, bro.
I don't know. They pretty much look the same. But
Well, yeah, it's a Nightcrawler meme. That second one is a
okay.
Nightcrawler meme.
But the only blue bastard from Marvel that I want to see going in is Beast. Honestly.
Yeah, he does get the shaft a lot.
Oh, he gets the shaft more often than not.
Wow, I just realized how wrong that shit sounded.
Yeah, yeah. He does his studies, and then he studies the dildos. Anyways, um, that's how I feel about all those characters. I mean, it's hit and miss, really.
Yeah. On a side note, that show went for about 5 seasons, and here's the intro. It's only 1 minute 30 seconds. It won't kill you. But yeah, it was very interesting for its time because, well, outside of the Justice League shit, there truly weren't any Marvel crossover TV shows. And after this, we didn't get another Marvel crossover TV show until like 2012 or 2013 with the arrival of Disney XD and their obsessive making Spider-Man a group leader or put him on a team. That's a long ass gap. Yes, characters met each other, but it wasn't like that. Like, it wasn't to the point where it was a TV show based around it. Also, if they can't get Phoenix, Firestar is a good replacement. But yeah, let me go down my list of reasoning real quick. Nightcrawler, just because, well, the bullshit excuse is no longer valid. Oh, he'll teleport everywhere because we got fucking Wesker and Deadpool and other teleporters. They could just as easily just say that he teleports only when he connects a combo and does certain like moves off of his normal attacks. And then, no teleports are relating to his specials because he's also an Olympic level swordsman. And people don't really know that. And he's ambidextrous. You have a lot of options, especially if Wesker might get the axe. Caldera, I know you don't know her. That's okay. Almost nobody does. She's only in 3 fucking comics ever. I kind of put her there as a freebie that would be easy to acquire. And in the event that they need to overwrite some mutants, or if they just want a character where they can have total freedom with, they get her like they did with MODOK. Nobody knew how MODOK was going to play. No, a lot of people actually didn't even believe he was in the game. And as far as Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen, my reasoning was pretty simple. Venom's gone. Spider-Man's the only representative from the Spider Clan, and to top it off, it's very easy to make her play completely different. Case in point, Wolverine in X-23. Also, that dichotomy, Wolverine in X-23. Well, I already explained Firestar and Iceman. That needs no bearing. First off, I miss Iceman. He was in every game. It's him and Gambit and Rogue are in every game until you get to the 3D era. They should not be missing. Claire Redfield, just because I want to see what she says when she fights her brother. I honestly think it'll be hilarious. As long as they fix her face and go back to making her look like Allison Court instead of fucking Ellen DeGeneres, which actually happened in the new game. They made her look like fucking Ellen DeGeneres. That aside, I'm going to show you all what Allison Court looks like just so I can hear y'all go, God damn. And boop. Yeah, go ahead, take a look at that. Drink it in. Drink it all in. Wow, y'all got quiet.
Well, first off, there's nothing in the chat box.
Wait, it didn't load up?
I don't see nothing.
Did you click it? It's not an image, it's a link.
I don't see a link other than the Instagram stuff.
So something's wrong with your shit. Okay, let me try giving it to you again. Pika, do you see it?
Yeah, I took a look at it. She's cute. She's a redhead, so.
Actually, I'm not even sure she's a redhead. I think it might be Dot.
Well, I scrolled down a bit and I saw her as a redhead, so I'm like, okay.
Now here's what gets me. All of that. Damn near 40.
She's cute. That's about it.
Fuck you mean that?
Alright, anyways, next topic.
Hold on. I'm saving some new images for later.
Mm.
Yeah, that's gonna come in handy later. Okay, anyways. Alright, so let me see. Was that everybody? Well, Jubilee's had an interesting career. So yeah, she's actually got for a time depowered and became a super strong bruiser type. Then she became a fucking vampire. Then a future version of herself came back to the past to help out the current X-Men, and her code name somehow changed to Wolverine, and she could now turn her light sparks into energy claws, and she was still a fucking vampire. It's Jubilee's all over the place, but people don't realize it. Ruby Hart, do I even need to say it? Kurosawa, because I miss her, and if they can't get Psylocke, that might be the next best thing. Warbird, because no one knows who she is, and technically she fucks with the mutants, but she's not a mutant. She's actually a bodyguard for Gladiator. If you remember from the old cartoon show, she's a bodyguard for Gladiator's son, who was going to Wolverine's college. I shit you not. You couldn't make this shit up. And of course, Gambit and Rogue, because why have they never been in a fucking 3D crossover and they've been in every other one? And Jin, just because he was one of the most, for lack of a better term, recognizable or influential characters in MVC2. And I know that sounds vague, but hear me out. He was a secret character in a robot game where he wasn't even playable. And they found a way to make him so unique as far as fighting game characters go that he sticks with people. Everything he does is a fucking knockback. He has a giant fucking Gundam, and for no reason at all, he can explode his clothes off as an attack. He wears a thong, but he can explode his clothes off. The thong stays.
Why is that an attack?
We don't fucking know. We don't know. But if you look at that character, you would not think he would do shit like that. And every time he hits something, even if he misses, he yells at the top of his lungs. For no reason. He can also turn into a typhoon, or rather, he can turn into a tornado, but for some reason, he says the word typhoon. It makes no sense, but that's okay. He never did. Just imagine what they would do with him if that motherfucker met Deadpool. Actually, don't think about it. I don't want to think about it. Anyways. Alright, so on to our next little bit of business. Timed exclusives. Now, I don't really have some jargon to give before this one because we all know what they are. My question is that do you guys see it as something that we benefit from as in the gaming industry or benefit from as consumers? Or do you just think, it's a big old fat middle finger / waste of time? And we're going to start with you, Andrew, because you haven't actually had shit to comment on.
Well, here's my thing. I think that they're not really a good idea, mainly because it's like, why would you just have something timed? You're basically cutting yourself short.
Wow, that was a very, very short opinion. That's all you got in you? Nothing else?
Right now.
So that's a yes. Okay. Now. Fucking. What was I about to say? Oh, yeah. Alright, Pika. What's your feelings on timed exclusives in 5 curse words or less.
5 curse words or less. Okay, actually, my answer is going to be short, so I think I can fit that bill. Release dates, I give 0 fucks one, whether they are timed or not. All I care about is you spend enough time making a game, you put the time into it to make sure the game ain't bugged as hell. You release that game when it's good and goddamn ready. That's all I care about. But, if you try to time it along with the release of a movie or something along the lines, and you rush it out, and that game ain't good, you are going to catch hell from everywhere.
Okay. Yo, what do you think a timed exclusive is?
Okay, my definition of time exclusive is a company releasing a game that has a correlation with, like, a movie. Like, say, for example, the new Ghostbusters movie that came out this year. They released that crappy-ass, like, Ghostbusters game, which was, like, a 4-player, like, walk around shooting, whatever.
Stop. That's well, for one thing, that's a licensed rush piece of shit, which is pretty common, sadly. No, a timed exclusive is when a company is contractually obligated to not put whatever they're making on another system for X amount of time or years. That's a timed exclusive, bro.
Oh, like Street Fighter 5.
Like pretty much anything around Sony in the past 3-4 years. They seem to be trying to nab those up a lot. I know they was mad that they lost Tomb Raider.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Man,
what's your feelings on that?
Well, I mean, it kind of sucked when, you know, whoever it was, like, lost Bayonetta, because, like, that went out on all systems. I was like, oh, wait, if a second Bayonetta comes out, it's like, it's like, it's going to be on all systems, so, you know, whatever system I get, minus the Nintendo one, I'll be able to play it. All of a sudden, Bayonetta 2 is getting ready to come out, only on the Wii U. Well, shit. So it's kind of ass biting in ways. But hey, you know, like I said, if you make a good enough game, you will make people buy consoles to play those games.
Alright, now that I have a little bit better understanding, because I was off my rocker a little bit at first, honestly, that's a stupid idea. If you're going to make a game and it's going to be out on all consoles anyway, then it should just be on all consoles from the first place, not PlayStation and then 6 months later, Xbox. Stupid in my opinion. Waste of time.
Well, I guess that just leaves me. And this time I have a more direct opinion. If you are a big company, a big company like Major 3, and you know somebody's finishing up their game, or they could use some extra money to finish up their game, that's not really how you should go about it. I understand certain timed exclusives, or rather, I understand the appeal of a timed exclusive because it can build up your fan base earlier on, which will get more people onto your shit. And you know how consoles are. Most of it is word of mouth between friends. Yeah, you buy the consoles that you like because you want to play shit, but at the end of the day, it's who you're going to play or want to play that shit with. So if there's 2 timed exclusives and it makes 10 of my friends get one system over the other, what system am I most likely to get if I want to play with my friends? Exactly. But here's the thing. These companies are never going to sign a deal that says forever and ever. So it's going to come out on something the hell else. And most likely, it'll be a superior version than fucking the one that you got. Or at least it'll have all those bells and whistles for cheaper. So my thing is basically fucking why bother in the first place when there are other things you could do to make the pot easier. Like you could pay for a piece of the fucking development pie or distribution pie, and kind of sort of do what Token Games wants to do, and go out of your way to make your version cost less than other versions. So hypothetically, instead of oh hey let's let this DSX be a timed exclusive for Sony or whatever, you instead say hey here's some extra money, go make some DLC bells and whistles that'll only be on our system, never go on another system. Or B, oh hey our version is going to be $50, it's going to be $40 instead of 60 like everybody else. So tough titties. And you know what's going to happen? It's going to make other companies want to order your version more because they know it's going to sell quicker, it's going to sell faster, and it's going to be the one that sells the most. I think they're just doing it wrong. I think that the game shouldn't be timed exclusives. I think certain versions or certain things in the game should be timed exclusives if they want to really have that mass market appeal and get that early grab. Just imagine if instead of having, oh, this DLC 30 days early on PlayStation, Call of Duty or some shit like that was $40 instead of 60 on the PlayStation. You think they're doing gangbusters right now? Fuck. They be doing gang rape busters. That is a terrible, terrible mental image. Anyways, so yeah, that's how I feel about that shit. And as far as on the consumer level, no, it doesn't do us any good. Because then you run into the same issues as Pika does. But you have to understand, Pikamitsu, when it comes to Bayonetta 2 specifically, by the way, it's going to be on the Switch, so yeah, get your remake on. The problem is that Sony and Microsoft were being a dick to them. So it's not really on purpose. They didn't have a choice. That game was basically shelves until the next console cycle, until Nintendo picked it up. Because they were having issues with the hardware, or rather the operating system, or rather the engine that they were trying to do shit on. A combination of one of those two. And Microsoft said, figure it out on your own, basically. Sony said, no. And Nintendo didn't even get asked. But somehow Nintendo caught wind of it or found out about it, and Sega and Nintendo decided to do a joint production. That's why we even got Bayonetta 2 to happen. And even then, there are still some issues. There's technically no real definitive version of fucking Bayonetta 1 anymore. Both of the 360 and the PS3 versions are 30 frames per second. And they still have the occasional chug. The Wii U version, yes, it is in fact 1080, if memory serves. But guess what? When you go into a boss fight, it drops down to 30 frames per second and I think 720. Or it drops down, or the whole game is 720, runs at 60 frames per second. But the minute you get into a boss fight, they drop it down to 30 frames per second. So, yeah. So, that's just a little bit of history about that shit. Now, what was our next topic? Shit. Oh, yeah. So, who here knows what Mr. Robot is?
I actually watched a few of the first episodes.
What about you, Pika?
Nope, all I know is they stole the Sega text.
I wouldn't say stole, but actually, no, the whole series is based off of copying shit. Let's be honest. Alright, so let me ask you something, Pika. Do you remember and did you see Fight Club?
I know what Fight Club is, I have not watched it.
Motherfucker, how have you not seen Fight Club? Okay, first
I don't watch many movies.
Dude, it's old as shit. Bottom line is, you need to go see Fight Club. Basically, the whole premise was taking down the ability to record, log, and see any country's debt. Or any people in any country's debt. And the movie ends when, for lack of a better term, they actually do it. They actually figure out how to wipe out debt as economic terrorists. Right? But that's where the movie ends. Mr. Robot is basically what happens post Fight Club? What happens in the world after the terrorists or hackers already did that? But as an added twist, the main character slash hacker who came up with this shit has hallucinations that are so realistic he has trouble distinguishing what is and isn't reality. So yeah, go watch that shit. But yeah, you haven't seen it, so I can't ask that question. Now, what was that other question I had? I have it written down somewhere. What was it? Let me go pull it up. Oh yeah, let's go into this topic and just get this over with. I know you don't care, Pika, but you're gonna care because it's gonna have a lot of shit you want. Nintendo Switch slash NX, which I will be using interchangeably. We got some new leaks because we don't got rumors no more. We got leaks, which also leads me into my new rule, which none of y'all have broken so far, but I'm just gonna talk about because it pisses me off. Coming up to me and asking me how much is the Nintendo NX gonna be. Coming up to me and asking me when it's gonna come the fuck out. I know some of the questions. And the questions I do know the answer to, guess what I can't do? Tell
you.
Exactly. You know why I can't tell people? Because Nintendo's lawyers are scarier than anybody else on this goddamn fucking planet. And I truly, sincerely mean that. Because Nintendo lawyers don't have any form or concept of the word mercy. And it's not because they're lawyers. It's not. It's because, quite literally, they go off of Japanese orders, even though they're the U.S. So even if it was 10, 15 years ago, if they told them, if people do this, that, and the other thing, go after them. They're going to do it. GameSpot, or no, not GameSpot. I think it was GameStop or GameSpot. Some European company just put up, like 48 hours ago, USB Type-C cables to help charge your Nintendo Switch. And guess what happened 48 hours later? Nintendo got in that ass. Something as small and minute and not serious as what type of charge cables? What type of fucking charge cables? And the lawyers just came out in full force. I don't think anybody wants that up their ass.
No.
No, thank you. I'll pass.
Exactly. Fucking exactly. So yeah. And that's where that whole new Instagram meme came up of, people asking me shit. It's not that, they just ask me for it like it's a secret or they know or they want me to get them to trust them. They come up to me and ask me like they just walked into GameStop and I'm just going to say the answer out loud. Are you fucking serious? Like, hey Zax, how much is Nintendo NX on the middle of a goddamn bus? Now, I have a high tolerance, unfortunately, for stupid ass questions. One of which is basically my personal favorite. I don't think you've heard this one yet, Pico. It's they will email me from the email suggestion request box for shit that's not out or shit that's really old. Hey, how do I request something?
You're doing it.
No, they're technically not because that's as far as the question goes. They don't say, "Hey, how do I request this game?" Those questions I consider less stupid. They say, "Hey, how do I request something?" After they email me from the request box.
You're in the process of doing it. You just have to request something now. Wow. Just dumb.
And it's not even like it's a one person thing. It's usually like for every 50 emails I have to go through, I get one of those fuckers.
I'm just speechless.
So was I the first time it happened. Then it kept happening. Then I lost more faith in humanity. which is hard for me because I don't give humanity a lot of faith.
Well, that's a damn shame.
Anyway, so yeah, the new information we found out, worth mentioning at least, besides a goddamn charger functionality, is that apparently it's actually not set in stone how powerful the portable's resolution is going to be or the battery life. In fact, final dev kits, which basically means that the finalized version, commercially available hard combination hardware software for the Nintendo Switch, just went out earlier this week. Also, they plugged an old leak, which I find hilarious. And this is going to be even stupider than the last shit that happened. Okay, so one of the more famous leak people, who not only don't hide themselves like the smart people like Emily Rogers, I forgot her name, but she's mad that she's been barred and blacklisted from all Nintendo-related press and release and journalism information. You've been leaking shit for 2 to 3 months. Actually, let me phrase that. For half of a year. And you're mad at Nintendo for barring you, even though you put a picture of yourself up, you put up your full name, you put up what journalism companies in the game industry you work for. You lucky your whole goddamn companies that you worked under didn't get fucking thrown under the bus. And you mad? Why?
You's a stupid ass bitch.
I don't know what to say to that because you deserve it.
Thank you. See, this is why I say there's two types of victim blaming. There's idiots who think you're instantly talking about people that got raped. No, you can blame people for things that happen to them that don't involve rape. I've never blamed a rape victim anytime I've thought of victim blaming. I blamed stupid people. Hey, if you are about to walk into a wall and you look at me, hear me say it, acknowledge it, and then run straight ahead and say, hey, how did I get hit by the wall? Whose fault is it?
Yo, dumbass fault.
The victim, which I blame. Actually, I'm going to try to pull her up. Nintendo. Because she's a bit of a character. A dumb character, but still. Nintendo Blacklist Leaker. Is all Nintendo Leaker studying?
That made me facepalm so hard. This, how much more stupid can you be, honestly?
If there was a scale, let me just tell you right now, she wouldn't be at the top of it. She would break it.
Then probably the next 10 scales after that.
That's one badass bitch.
Oh, you found her? Laura
No, I'm
Kate
just
Dale.
kidding.
Okay, her name is Laura Kate Dale. Okay, let me see. Just type this in. Laura Kate Dale Blacklist. Oh yeah, here we go. I'm just gonna read this article from Tappa Talk. You know, I always gotta credit people, but I'm gonna drop it in the chat too. I'm just like, what the fuck did you think would happen? That's the best I can come up with, just from an adult perspective. Laura Kate Dale now blacklisted by Nintendo. The following comment was made on her Twitter page. Not formal from Nintendo, but source claims I'm now finally Nintendo blacklisted. Won't be getting software or hardware from UK public relations or it could mean press releases.
She ugly as hell, too.
Hey, you're entitled to your opinion, and it's a free country. I wasn't going that route, but I mean, let's just say she's created a lot of enemies.
She ugly and she got blacklisted.
Let's just read some of the comments. Jordan King says, nailed it. Christmas Doyle says, blacklisted for doing your job. Great. No, your job is not corporate espionage, motherfucker. People keep forgetting journalism and corporate espionage are two goddamn different things. Amarielli says, you've made it. I don't made it what? You've made yourself look like a fucking idiot.
You made yourself onto a fucking shit list of all shit lists.
On the upside, it proves you're doing good. No. Accurate reporting work. No. Again, corporate espionage. Your Switch stuff has been fantastic. Debatable. It's becoming more evident that the big game companies need to work out better / different ways of communicating with the audiences. That has nothing to do with what's going on. It was probably that angry game employee who dobbed you in. I'd like to think one of your counterparts at another publication or outlet will let you have access to theirs down the line. No. So yeah, it's I guess I can. Oh shit, that page crashed my browser. I'm not even joking right now.
Good job.
So I'm just gonna. Someone's playing a PS4. I'm just gonna drop a picture of her into the chat.
I mean, you don't want to see that. That's borderline barf.
She seems to enthusiastically enjoy coloring her hair.
A little too much. Too much sauce.
The fuck? None of her images are large. They're all low resolution. 640, 320. Fuck. Does she not know what? Oh, here's one. Okay. So here is Laura Kate Dell. I cannot encourage nor can I support bullying of someone who is not an asshole. That being said, I don't know where you rank video game corporate espionage shit at. Because technically, she can get sued, fined, or her company could get sued or fined. So realistically, fucking, I honestly don't know what the fuck was going through her head.
I can tell you one thing it wasn't. Dicks. Both looks like a dude.
Holy fuck. Well,
I was just about to say something.
First Amendment rights. I may not agree with, I'm not saying I don't agree with it. I may not agree with your comments, but I will go to the death of me to defend your right to say it. My personal comment is, you a stupid dumbass. But that has nothing to do with her physical attraction level. My problem is that these game journalists, which the term is always, it can occasionally be debated, corporate espionage is a whole nother level of shit. That's a serious problem a lot of companies have to deal with.
Yeah, like, honestly, being able to, like, not completely fuck over not only you, but the company you work with, and possibly looking like one of the new members for Orange is the New Black, that's two completely different things. Damn. You know, this is just, she can't get her shit together in either route. You gotta fix one. I gotta think you gotta fix one before you can start to fix the other. Gotta get something going.
God damn. Oh man.
I mean, are we sure she's not trans? It is possible.
Andrew, don't go there. That's a whole nother level of shit we don't need.
So many genders.
Look, you can say she looks androgynous, which is pretty platonic, and that's not offensive, but, well, everything y'all have said is insulting, but not offensive. So, which, ironically, those are kind of sort of used interchangeably. But, yeah, let's not piss off an entire group of people over one dumbass.
Yeah, fair enough.
My whole problem, like I said, is just, I'm blaming the victim. I won't blame someone for getting raped. I will, however, blame an idiot for being an idiot. Especially if the idiot knows you don't get the shit without signing contracts and a billion other things. Let me tell you something. And this is just from a general manager perspective. My boss calls or talks or texts me at least 3 times within 2 days about something. Do you know how much of that shit has not ended up on the podcast? Like 99% of it. You know why? Because even without him telling me, I already know. Business/private conversations about business are not for people who aren't employees. So if you get a job where you have to sign affidavit, waivers, embargoes, contracts, and any other type of term of service or agreement stating you won't do or say shit about shit, or that if you find out about shit, not to say shit, why are you surprised when there are negative ramifications? Exactly. You shouldn't be. Other than that, well, it's looking like the rumor that the amiibos for Cloud Strife and Bayonetta are in fact pushed back to the exact same time or around the release week, if not month, of Super Smash Bros. 4 for the Nintendo Switch. That being said, that game still does not have a set release date. I know because, well, fuck, I want it to so I can get it because I'm not going to have to pay for it. But it is what it is. As far as other rumors, they've all been pretty much in relation to battery life, which is that there may be a mode or a button switch on the actual Switch where when you're playing it portably, you can switch between 720 and 1080 and possibly 480 to extend your battery life. But Nintendo is planning to make sure it goes beyond the 3 to 4 hours people like Lord Kate Dale said it had. Now keep in mind, we just found out that finalized dev kits for the commercially available system go out or went out this week. So by default, her trying to report her rumors as the truth should have come with that little asterisk. It's just another way to make sure you don't end up looking like a fucking idiot. Or better yet, open up a dummy account. It's so easy to open up a dummy account, but I guess if you're a dummy, you can't think to do that. And you could have got away with the shit. Has she never heard of NeoGoth? You know, the place where everyone goes to snitch? Oy.
I mean, I haven't heard of that, but...
Okay, well, the short end of it is, NeoGoth is a gaming forum, but it prides itself on basically going out of its way to get secretive information by having a verification system for anyone who claims they have secretive or corporate information. Basically, they hide people who do corporate espionage.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah, and they can't get rid of the site, much to their dismay. NeoGAF, I think, is like a decade old now.
That's an even bigger problem.
Yes. Well, that being said, that's pretty much all my topics. Let somebody else got something they want to drum up. Pikamitsu closing statements.
I was gonna say something about your whole like comparison to like rape / victim / whatever. It's like on the tip of my brain right now. Okay, I got it. So basically, like you said, I agree with your comment saying, you know, rape happens. You know, I don't blame the victim for, you know, being raped. But if you are bent over, pants down, in a dark alley with a neon sign pointing straight at your ass saying, "Give it to me hard and raw, Big Daddy," you are fucking asking for it.
Well, it wouldn't be rape at that point, though. It would be consensual.
Oh no, she might not like it when it starts, but it's gonna happen. She's inviting it to happen. She might not like the result, but she asked for it.
Oh my god, I might be in so much trouble. Andrew, closing statements.
I don't know what to say.
There's no way to ever follow Pikamitsu. That's why I let him go first a lot.
After hearing that, I don't got nothing but sorry if I offended anybody.
I ain't.
Fuck. Okay. Well, shit. I guess my closing statements are a little bit simpler. The moral of the story, kids, is vote for Alice and Claire for anything. I don't care. Bikini Model of the Year, President of America, because apparently it seems to be very easy to get that. You almost don't even have to fucking try. And if you're gonna be a snitch, don't be a stupid snitch like Laura Kate Dell. This has been Token Games Podcast signing off.